All right, let's talk about something that millions of people experience at work every single day. But most of us just, brush it off. We're talking about occupational vibration. It might seem invisible, but believe me, its effects are anything but.
I mean, think about it, right? That constant rumble in the truck cab, the rattle of the forklift you're driving, or that intense buzz from a power tool in your hands. We tend to just accept it. We think, hey, it's just part of the job. But what if it's more than that? What if that feeling is actually a measurable risk to your health?
So, to really get this, we have to shift our thinking. We need to stop seeing vibration as just a sensation and start seeing it for what it really is in the workplace, a physical hazard.
So what is it, technically? Well, the official definition is pretty straightforward. It's any kind of back and forth movement around a fixed point. Sometimes it's predictable and smooth, like a well-tuned engine. Other times, it's totally random and chaotic, like a truck bouncing down a rough road.
And this is the part that really matters. The moment that vibration gets transmitted to your body, it's not just a simple physical movement anymore. It becomes a recognized hazard, one that has the very real potential to cause serious stress and, over time, some major health problems.
Now here's the thing, not all vibration is the same. The way it gets into your body is everything, and it really boils down to two main categories, whole body vibration and hand-arm vibration. Let's break those down. Okay, so on one side, you've got whole body vibration, or WVV. This is what happens when the shaking comes up through a seat or the floor. So think about sitting in a vehicle. That vibration travels right up your spine and basically affects your entire body. Then on the other side, you have hand-arm vibration, or HAV. This comes from holding a tool. It shoots from the handle, through your fingers, into your hand, and all the way up your arm. Both are bad news, but they attack your body in completely different ways.
So where does this whole body vibration come from? Well, it's the daily grind for anyone who drives or operates heavy machinery. We're talking truck drivers, farmers on tractors, folks in warehouses on forklifts, construction crews running excavators. You get the idea. If you're sitting or standing on something that's shaking for hours a day, you're getting exposed to WBV.
And hand-arm vibration? This is the world of handheld tools. Anyone using grinders, chainsaws, or those heavy-duty monsters like jackhammers and pneumatic breakers is getting a really concentrated dose of vibration pumped directly into their hands and arms. It's much more localized, for sure, but it can be just as damaging.
Okay, so we know there are two types, and we know where they come from. But why are they so bad for us? To really understand the damage, we've got to dive into the physics of how our bodies react when they're being shaken around.
And this is really the million-dollar question. How can a low, deep rumble be so bad for your back, while a high-frequency buzz is what wrecks your hands? It all comes down to one thing: frequency. That's just the speed of the shaking. And the secret to why it matters so much is a wild little concept called resonance. Resonance is an incredibly powerful force in physics. Just think about pushing a kid on a swing. If you time your pushes just right, matching the natural rhythm of the swing, you can send them flying higher and higher with barely any effort. Well, the exact same thing happens inside your body. When the vibration from a machine perfectly matches the natural frequency of one of your body parts, that vibration gets amplified, big time.
What's so wild is that we can actually map out these vulnerabilities. It's not random at all. It's predictable science. Different parts of our body vibrate at their own unique frequencies, and when an external vibration hits that sweet spot, that's where the damage really happens.
Okay, let's zoom in on this one. The human spine has a natural resonant frequency of about 4 to 12 hertz. That is a very low frequency vibration. It's that deep rumble you feel from a big truck or a tractor. This is exactly why drivers and equipment operators have such a huge risk of lower back pain and spine problems. The machine they're on is literally pushing the swing of their spine all day long.
Now, compare that to this. The nerves and blood vessels in your hands and fingers, they resonate at a much, much higher frequency, somewhere between 100 and 400 hertz. That is the high-pitched buzz you get from a power grinder or a sander. That resonance is exactly what leads to nerve damage and conditions like vibration white finger. Two totally different frequencies hitting two totally different targets in the body.
So, we've covered the what, the how, and the why. But let's tie it all together. What are the real-world consequences? Why is this something we absolutely need to take seriously in workplace safety? Well, the impact is huge. We're talking about chronic pain and musculoskeletal issues that can literally end someone's career.
It obviously leads to lower productivity, but maybe even more important, it increases the risk of accidents, especially when you're operating machinery. And the scary part? Some of this damage, particularly to the nerves, can be completely irreversible.
And this doesn't just happen overnight. It's a slow burn. It starts out as just, feeling uncomfortable, a bit of fatigue. But if you keep getting exposed, it can escalate to impairing your performance. Then it can develop into chronic health problems. And ultimately, it can lead to permanent disabling conditions. The longer you're exposed, the worse the risk gets.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a highly regulated hazard. This chart here shows the legal exposure limits from the European Union, which are a benchmark for safety standards around the world. As you can see, there are very specific, legally enforceable limits for both whole body and hand-arm vibration. The very fact that these laws exist proves how seriously this is taken by safety experts.
So the next time you're on the job and you feel that shaking, that rattling, that buzzing, remember what's really going on. It's not just part of the job. It's a physical force that is interacting with your body in very specific and potentially harmful ways. Knowing that, are you going to listen to that shaking a little differently from now on?